take it to the other side. I'm feeling strong, my little lady. I'm gonna keep her moving on. I'm gonna run till I drop to the break of dawn. Never gonna stop till I see the light. I'm feeling high, my little lady. I'm gonna take it to the other side. You know I used to smoke too much. You know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car. You can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car. We're gonna get real. I'm feeling good, my little lady. She's gonna take me to the other side. I'm feeling nice, my little lady. She's gonna keep me moving on. I'm gonna run till I drop to the break of dawn. Never gonna stop, she's gonna treat me right. I'm feeling good, my little lady. She's gonna take me to the other side. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car. And you can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car. And we're gonna get real. Come on, baby. Let's take a ride. I don't know where we're gonna go, but first, let's dance. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and you can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and we're gonna get real. Oh. I'm feeling high, my little lady. I'm gonna take it to the other side. I'm feeling strong, my little lady. I'm gonna keep her moving on. I'm gonna run till I drop to the break of dawn.
Giottos is so good. These chocolates are what? Chocolates. We're here about astrophotography. What are we doing? Wrong video. Whoops.
What have I done? Ooh, what have you seen? Early at night, got in the fight, in the candlelight, looking through the screen. Now what have I done? What have you seen? You know there's no future in love when a person has come in between. Jamie's gone, Jamie's gone. Can't look back and now he feels so What have you seen? There was nothing to say, it took her away, and I feel the pain, made love in vain. Oh, oh, what have I done? What have you seen? She knows there's no future in love when a person has come in between. Jamie's gone. Jamie's gone. Can't look back, and now he feels so strong. Jamie's gone. Jamie's gone. Left last night, and now it seems so long. You can't hear these words I say when you're a million miles away. Yeah. Jamie's gone. Jamie's gone. Can't look back, and now he feels so strong. Jamie's gone. Jamie's gone. Left last night, and now it seems so long. Jamie, come on, Jamie. Yeah. And now you feel so strong. Jamie, come on, Jamie. Yeah. Left last night, and now it seems so long. What the hell's wrong with my telescope now? Yeah, what's wrong with this thing? The lost Lone Ranger, can I break this spell? Do one thing right, do I make you do things wrong? If I want that fine line, I will always take it wrong. If I just do left, I can hear from the right. I sleep all day long, and then I'm breathing through the night. I've seen a lot of bankers, and I've seen a lot of cops. I've seen a lot of lawyers pull out all the stops. I've seen a lot of children with their parents in their hands. I felt a lot of women refuse to understand. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take the world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. You see it in the papers, you read it every day. The riots and the fires going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanted asking the same thing. The check for your money, I'm whatever else spring. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. 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 It's gotta mean something. It's gotta. All right. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Dustin, sorry, I don't know why I called you Daniel.
I thought you were calling me Daniel. I'm like, what?
No, God, no.
I was like, my mother calls me Daniel. Anyway, we're live. So, hi, everybody. What's going on? We made it for another hump day at AstroWorld TV. We're hanging out with Dustin Enfinger from Amateur Astrophotography magazine. And he's going to come and hang out with us and talk to us about what he's got going on. That AstroWorld is a advertiser in that magazine as well. So we'll talk to Dustin in a second. But I know I'm a little bit of a mess, like a little bit more of a mess than normal. But you know, we'll get through this.
Normal?
Than normal, yeah. So my normal messed up phase times it by 2. I can't even move. So if you see me just stationary like this, I can't move. So you know, thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
He's the man in the box.
Oh, jeez. That's a great song. but how's it going, everybody? Steve Ibbotson, I see Matt Draxler, Tom Peter, Nikon Jax, Chris Frierickson, Ross Hampton. Thanks for coming by and hanging out with us. It's going to be a good night tonight. We were just talking offline about the image of the week, and wow, we have a lot of novice, a lot of novice entries. So Eric, I don't know if you've seen it. I know that's now your baby. I don't know if you want to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, so thank you for the novice astrophotographers who answered the call. We don't have just one. we don't have just 2, but 3 entries that are really, really good. 3 great entries for our novice bracket, as well as 3 entries for our experience bracket. So thank you guys for answering the call, and go out there, vote, but you only vote once. This isn't Chicago, where, in Chicago, you have even the dead people voting and stuff like that.
Oh, geez.
And I can say that because I'm from Chicago. So I have firsthand knowledge.
Yes, you can. You can say that.
So I can say that.
He's special.
If somebody from New York said it, it'd be a problem.
It'd be a problem. Take it from a native Chicagoan.
Well, it happens in New York too, apparently.
But nonetheless, thank you. We have some great shots out there. I'll share them a little bit later here on the show. But Dustin, man, great to have you on, and looking forward to hanging out with you and hearing about the magazine and just us chatting, about astrophotography and the magazine. So yeah, I mean, let's rock and roll.
Yeah,
sounds good to me.
Yeah, so Dustin, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit, because I gotta switch the title, because I switched your title for a second because I put it on, took it off. I actually made a typo, so I'm gonna fix that real quick.
Oh boy.
Well,
it's okay. He's boxed in. We'll cut him some slack.
It could have been a bad. It could have been a bad. I could have wrote like, AA magazine. Then there was Alcoholics Anonymous. So
watch us go through the 12 steps, and once he finished those 12 steps, he get a chip.
we were doing that last week, right?
Yeah, we were doing that.
I mean, to be fair, if you get into astrophotography, there's a good chance you'll need AA.
Yes, you will. Or what do they say? You might not have any more money to buy the liquor, because you just
really though.
Well, astrophotography, AA for me is Altera Astro.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Right, there you go.
I guess it's always better than Dustin's PP.
Oh God, I'm not gonna let that go. Dylan rocks.
I told you that story yesterday, right, Dustin, about Dylan? Did I tell you that?
Dylan.
Nuh-uh.
Well, real quick before we end. So we had Dylan O'Donnell on Astropalooza, which is a show we do every first Saturday in December. Once a year. It's 8 to 9 to 10 hours of content, straight live, 13 guests over 10 hours, or 14 guests. So
it's a madhouse. Yeah,
it's masses of Pix Insight, Wayne Parker, Sean Nielsen. We had Stacey Downton, Dylan O'Donnell, Trevor Jones. We had all Amy Little. I mean, I could keep on going on and on and on. But we just finished our 3rd rendition of that in December, and this Astropalooza 2, Dylan was on, and I'm talking to Dylan because me and him talk a lot over X/Twitter, because he has a big following on that, and sit there going, hey, Dylan, listen, I know you're a busy guy. Why, don't worry about your PowerPoint. Just do me a favor. Just send me the pictures, and I will, I'll put it all, mash them up together. I'll put them in the order you want, and it'll be all fine. So I send him the file.
Already sees where this is going. Dustin already seen where this
I sent him the file to Australia, and he comes on the show, and he's like, and I can't do an Australian accent, so I'll just do the New York thing. But he goes, Dan, I was gonna let this go, but because we're live on it, that's my first time here, I can't let this go. So I'm looking at my email, and I get this email from you, and it's got a file on it, and the file name is Dylan's PP. So I'm looking, I said, oh my God, I hope I didn't send him some nasty pictures that's going to show up on this. So it just kept on rolling and rolling and rolling, and it just,
come on the show, or I'm posting it on the internet.
Yep, and now he threatens to come up and do it again with Dylan's PP2, the sequel. So he keeps on threatening to do that. So
man,
so that's the story of Dylan's PP.
It's like Dylan's PP and Spaceballs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Surrounded by assholes. No. Anyway,
Oh,
Dustin,
geez.
welcome to the show, man. Appreciate having you. I've known you for a couple of years now, and got to know you pretty well over the past couple of months. Why don't you tell the people who don't know you and what you're trying to do and who you are, and give us a little rundown of what's going on.
Sure thing, and thanks for having me on. So my name is Dustin Enfinger. I got into astronomy and astrophotography kind of late. It was 2018 when I first got into it, and uh, just a random experience. And immediately using this cheap little telescope, I just like couldn't help but hold my phone up to the eyepiece, and one thing led to another. And I found myself right before the shutdown in the COVID shutdown in 2020. I found myself working at Land, Sea, and Sky in Houston, which is also Texas Nautical Repair, most people know it as, and Takahashi America. And was there for about 3.5 years, and just really got a chance to use some really good equipment and build up my arsenal, and have just wanted to start doing something and kind of just really creating like my own spot in the industry. And so as of November, a little bit, maybe in October last year, a really good friend of mine and I took ownership of Amateur Astrophotography magazine and relaunched it in November. We're currently working on getting the March issue out, and um, yeah, I mean that's pretty much where I'm at now.
Nice. Yeah.
Um,
So what like I think I'm pretty sure it's online only, right? It's an online only magazine. How do I
yes, sir.
get it if I want it? How do I sign up, or how do I pay for it, or what is it?
So to access the magazine, we're currently like sharing the links to the magazine, which is published using Publu, and we're sharing that on all of our social medias. So on X.com, on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and the website should be up and running by Friday, which has all of the old content on it. And well, we haven't. The magazine itself is free, so to read the magazine, to share the magazine is completely free, and we're going to have a subscription for image competitions, for product giveaways, product raffles, and also you'll be able to purchase all of the back issues of the magazine, of which I believe there are 110 for
Wow.
20 British pounds or $25 American.
Wow, that's awesome. So it's totally free. That's great. So I keep on seeing it when obviously I go through it when I get the link, and I go take a look at it, and there is a lot of vendors that are involved. There's a lot of writing involved, a lot of great articles, a lot of great content by the people that you already know. I know that Ron Breacher's been in there. I'm sure you've had a lot. That's the one that comes to mind. But you've had a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff from members too. So
Absolutely. I mean, it's one thing we really like about the magazine, with it being digital. We have total control over the layout, the format, which we're consistently improving and looking to implement design changes and like interactive features with the magazine. And no, and you're right. We have I've we've had a lot of great articles come in, and I do enjoy the fact that we can have a lot of reader contributions and include those in there.
I'm trying to get the link up here. Just for the last.
Okay. Yeah, I was actually pulling that up because did the magazine take somewhat of a hiatus a little bit or something? Because I see like on Cloudy Nights and stuff like that, people are asking, "Hey, is the magazine dead? You know, what's going on here? What's going on there?" So I don't know if you wanted to update us on that, or or see if that's gotten all straightened out. You know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was, it was Steve Linden, I believe, right, that started the magazine, and he ran it for 10 years, um, and then after we took ownership of it, and thanks for mentioning the Cloudy Nights post. I do remember seeing that when I searched Google for the magazine, and I do want to make sure to go and update that once the website's available again. Then I'm planning on going and updating that post and making just a fresh post on Cloudy Nights to let everyone know that the magazine is indeed back, and we're looking to take it to great new heights.
Nice. That's awesome. So, so yeah, I mean, guys, if here in the chat, if you have any questions here for Dustin, feel free to go, start shooting those in the chat, and we'll relay those and stuff like that. But one thing is for me is what really got you, and I'm sorry if you've already answered this, but really what got you into saying, you know what, I want to take the reins of this, or I want to really be a part of this. And when it went away for a little bit, now you brought it back for these past couple years. What was your motivation to say, yeah, let's do this, let's bring this back, and let's let everybody know what's going on?
That's a great question. I'd say I definitely have a pretty like intrinsic like magnetism to entrepreneurialism, and just I saw it as an opportunity to, for one, kind of honor the legacy of what it had already been, and the place that it held for people, and just a really good opportunity to do something and to create a presence myself in the community, and to be able to continue doing on a global scale what I really enjoyed, I think, the most when I worked for Takahashi America, which was just to connect people to information. I mean, working at the shop, at the brick and mortar store, I had the opportunity to work with everyone in astronomy, from, hey, I just saw on the news there was a meteor shower. I want to get a telescope to view it, to people calling from, observatories, and or Adam Block calling, and, hey, I need a focuser for my Epsilon 180, and just getting to connect people to information, and facilitate the realization of whatever their goal was as best as possible. So I
Gotcha.
think knowledge is power, and I love connecting people to information.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you mentioned you have an arsenal, since you've worked at Takahashi. Um, Give us a description of what that arsenal is. What do you have, in your astrophotography stable with it?
So currently, what I'm using the most, as of recently, it would be a scope that was sent to me by Founder Optics, and it's the FOT 106. And I'm getting ready to finish up a review on that, and there'll be a written article review as well as a video review for YouTube, and just kind of going over the technical specifications of it, the history of the company, and just like the performance of it, the testing. And so I've been using that the most, and I've been using iOptron mounts pretty much since I got started. And I've got the CEM60 EC, the CEM70, and I have both of the ASI full frame cameras, the color and the mono. And then I have a C11 Edge that I'm about to start breaking into, and really taking that through its paces.
There you
And
go.
I do have a Takahashi FSQ85. don't have my dream scope yet from Takahashi, which is the TOA 130, but one day.
Okay.
That's a big boy.
You want to? Yeah, that's gonna say you want to dream big, huh?
Yeah, so I don't know if it's just wishful thinking, but should I get the money to drop on it, I would like to have a mount big enough to carry 4 of those simultaneously, so I can shoot LRG and B, or HA, S2, and two cameras running O3 at the same time.
Okay.
That's sweet.
Wow, that is sweet. Who needs a filter wheel? We'll just buy 4. We'll just buy 4, scopes, 4 OTAs, and just go for it.
Well, I'm up to 2, but they're all different apertures. So
Yeah.
Dustin, I've corresponded with you back and forth at Land, Sea, and Sky. You took care of. I bought a 294C Altair from there. I was having issues with it. I had to send it back. You guys got me squared away. But between between dealing with you and Nick, it was pretty simple. I mean, it took a while. I guess it was a lot of figuring out what's going on with it, and then I guess Nick was like presented. So,
What were you using the 290 for?
I had the 294C, the Altair, and it was having weird issues. I'd start imaging, sequence would start, it'd get about 10 images in, and the next thing you know, everything was blown out, bright green, and I think you had sent me an email saying that you had done some tests and figured out, after a while it would go non-linear. It would just everything blowing out of the sensor. So, but it worked out.
There you go.
Nice. You still rocking that camera?
The 294 is sitting on the shelf. I'm using the 26M now and the 533M. I switched them on it.
Nice.
I'm in a Bortle 7, so color cameras, don't do me as much justice.
Wow, you mean I might be moving to a Sky better than yours?
For now, Dan.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow. God, I won't be the crappiest Sky on AstroWorld TV anymore. Wow, I didn't think that would ever happen.
Yeah, but your pictures won't be. Well, it was not going to help your pictures any.
Oh, yes, it will, because you know what? I'll have a better Sky than you. I'll have no telephone lines.
But you won't have any time.
And
you won't have. I was going to say you won't have any time.
No, and I'll have a
time.
roll-off roof that opens and closes and just goes through the program and takes the data. Then I send it to Eric to process.
Oh, great.
Because you're right, I don't have the time. So I'll get all the data you want.
So it's funny. I got the last 2 nights. I've night before. I guess so. Sunday, Monday, had 2 good nights, and I got the two scopes out there doing 3 different targets. So, and I went to put some of it together last night.
So which 2 scopes? You had the 127 and the Carbon Star?
127 with the 2600 on it, with the 571 on it, and then the Carbon Star with the 533 on it.
There you go.
I went to put some of it together last night and realized I don't have darker bias frame library for the 533. So I couldn't stack them. So I'm in the process right now of taking dark frame library and getting bias frame from that. But I did stack my little pinwheel that I did with the 1.7. It came out really good.
Well, looks like I'll be taking a cruise up on Friday to the Great White North.
Take off, eh?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go up there just for basically an overnight. I'll be hanging out with Sean Nielsen and Steve Malia.
Nice.
So I'm going up there to evade tariffs, I guess. but so, so,
Theirs or ours?
Hours, you know. So, but you know, no, going up there to hang out. Well, everybody knows the travesty that's been going on, trying to get this carbon star down to Starfront, right? So I have this carbon star that's literally been sitting here for like 2 months. The focus is on there. The new rec and pinion is not. I just got to swap that out really quick.
Now you got to buy the dew shield.
I'm not gonna do that. Not because you know what? I bought the Deep Sky Dad flat panel for it.
Right. That could fit right on the dew shield.
It'll fit right on the front of this too. I don't need it. What do I need a dew shield for? It's like it's got like, you know, it's the middle of the desert. I'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'll be fine.
Well, you're crying because you got dew built up on that secondary.
Yeah, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. And if it happens, then I'll just go to, you know, Virginia and steal Dave's. So, hey, I drive to Canada to pick up a pier. You know, I may as well drive, you know, to Virginia to steal dew shield. So,
Why not? Hey. Hey, so Dustin,
Where's
you mentioned you've got an 11, a Schmidt an SCT, an Edge 11 now that you're about to put through its paces. What are the targets that you enjoy going after? Are you more of a planetary guy? Do you like doing, or are you more of a deep sky or EAA? What do you think you enjoy more as far as astrophotography?
I would say definitely deep sky, and mostly nebulae. But we are getting into galaxy season. That's going to be coming up, so I'm definitely looking forward to taking 2800 millimeters to those and seeing what I can do with that. And so that'll be kind of I've shot with the C11 at f7, but never at the native focal length. So that's going to be fun, just puzzling that out and getting all of that going good. And but then wide field, I do really enjoy using the FSQ85 for wide field.
Sweet.
And then I'd say when I first got into astrophotography, it was in, I said it was in 2018, and I had a little 70 millimeter Acromat that I was using, and then I bought what I thought was a really good telescope at the time. It was a Celestron Omni XLT 120.
Nice.
On the CG4 mount.
Sweet.
Just like,
oh, that CG4 is wonderful.
Oh yeah, and I bought the. I actually took it with me on vacation to California one year. I think it was 2019, and that's when I first. I went to OC Telescopes in Orange County and bought a little smartphone adapter, that Celestron 3-axis one.
Yep.
And which beat the hell out of my little piece of plywood with a rubber band that I had on it and a hole drilled in it. I mean, I'm what can you say? Try to be ingenuitive with stuff, and then so I was really mostly going after planets initially because I didn't even know about deep sky astrophotography. And then I saw a picture of the Orion Nebula up on the wall at OC Telescopes and started searching on YouTube. And then boom, I think Trevor Jones' video, "Let's Photograph the Orion Nebula," came up. And I was like, oh man, I was like, oh, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Like there's a lot more to this that I am going to dive so headfirst into. And I think later that year, I picked up a Raza 8 and the AVX combo from OPT, and I was using my little ASI 120 MCS on that scope. It took me 12 panels to mosaic the Running Man and Orion. And yeah, but those even in those kind of those early painstaking days of just trying to make the most of what I had. I never lost the enjoyment of it. And I was talking to my good friend who still works at Takahashi. You guys probably know him, Chris Montemayor.
Yeah, he was just on the
And
show.
You're just on. You're just on
okay,
the show. Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I was talking to Chris. I think it was on last Saturday, and we were talking about that. So many people get into the hobby, it seems, and I feel like we can sometimes lose sight of the enjoyment of it because we get so hung up on trying to make sure that everything is running perfectly and just really focusing on the frustrations that brings when that's not happening. And I think it's definitely important to take, like, a night to just reconnect with the night sky and remember why you're doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
That's
So
like what I was
Absolutely.
doing the last night when I was freezing my butt off in in Bridgehampton, and so I'm trying to get a light working here. And I did these outreach with these kids, the second and third graders, probably about 20 or 30 of them. And yeah, of course, I had to bring out the big gun. I had to bring out the 18-inch Obsession f4.5. So
nice.
that actually seen some light last night. So it was all cloudy all night, and we're like, oh man, this is gonna suck. And it was like all of a sudden you started seeing a cloud deck at like 7 o'clock. So by 8:15, all of a sudden, it just the sky parted. It was clear, able to
Nice.
show the Venus crescent because Venus is in a crescent mode right now. The moon, Jupiter. We were able to see two moons and a transit shadow.
Wow.
So that the kids were like, "What's that black thing on it?" I said, "Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the moon. The shadow's moon. You're getting a little Jupiter eclipse right there." So,
That's cool.
that was
That's
kind of
so
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the we also had a uh 10-inch Schmidt, I think there also as well. A 10-inch Schmidt and two astrophotography rigs. I brought mine, which I didn't even turn on because it was just too late. And then the other one wasn't even on either because by the time you get a clear skies, everyone's like, "Oh, I want to see," and so they just sat out there, and so it was pretty cool. And that's why I kind of do those things because when you get that oh wow when they first see the moon or the oh wow when I see the kind of bands on Jupiter and stuff like that, and you capture that kid at like 8, 9, 10 years old, and it's very, very cool, and even the parents are like going same thing. Oh, it's
Yeah.
so beautiful. Oh, so and it's great when you see it for the first time, right? Because you
Oh
don't even
yeah.
image it. You don't imagine what you could see.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. I mean, I always like to kind of put in the distance perspectives, and it's wild when you start to think about that stuff. Jupiter is 500,000,000 miles away,
Yeah.
and Saturn's 1 billion miles away. So
Yep. Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
looking
It
at it.
definitely puts things into perspective. Yeah. And you're looking at it. So and that's what I also explain to my kids and my sisters and my family. I'm like, when you take these photos, there is a person in our Sky Shed, because I own a Sky Shed pod in the Google group. In the Google group, he's also his name is also Eric, but he says, I'm a time traveler, and it's the same thing. Yeah,
Yep.
you're trying to explain, to the just the average person to say when you realize they say, "Oh, that's great. That's really cool. Yeah, thanks for sharing that." Like, do you realize how old that light is that you're seeing?
right.
Yeah.
You're actually traveling back in time because that is thousands of light years in certain cases away. That light had to reach us over so many so many miles, light years, and then it finally hits our chip. And my daughter asked me at one point, when I was imaging Orion, because she heard about the whole Betelgeuse thing, when she was in school. She asked, "Dad, do you think Betelgeuse is still there?" I'm like, "Well, it's there now. Who knows? It may, what? To be really honest with you, it may not be. It might actually,
Right.
have gone, supernova. You don't know. Who knows? Because
Right.
it takes so much time for that light to reach us. In all actuality, in the present time, yeah, it could have exploded, and we would never know. Not at least not in our lifetimes.
Right.
So it puts things in
It is.
perspective.
It's pretty wild. I mean, there's definitely a lag between what's going on in place there between what we're able to observe.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
yeah, another thing I like to do with any image that I post is I actually reconnected and caught up with uh, one of my favorite uncles today, and was telling him what I've been up to, and sent him a picture that I took of the Horsehead Nebula. And I said, this is 1,375 light years away. And so if you consider that a light year takes, a photon a year to travel, the light that reached the place in space in our Milky Way galaxy when it left that point that I was capturing that night was roughly around the time that the Roman Empire was at the peak of its civilization under Claudius, and the Parthian Empire was. I actually can't remember what they were up to, and the Gupta Empire was like really rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool with those little history things in there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
start hitting galaxies, and you really got to go back.
I was gonna say those
Yeah,
photons I
exactly.
got on the little pinwheel, 40 billion
Yeah, the
miles.
Neanderthals were walking the earth,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
40
You know
billion.
what? You're talking
years
Jurassic
ago.
Park now.
yep.
My buddy I posted, he's like, man, 40 million miles. That's I need glasses just to read. I was like, no, not 40 million miles, dude. It's 40 million light years. That's like 2.5 times 10 to the 20th power miles. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Exactly.
That was what is a light year, like 5.8 trillion miles?
Something like
that,
that.
yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
a lot of a 10 with a bunch of numbers on the exponent value.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
It's crazy. It's crazy when you think
Really
of stuff
think
like
about
that.
this,
It's the stories that you tell. You know what I mean? The stories that you tell, and how you could relay the information into a concept that the people that you're talking to can get. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When you sit there and say,
Right.
just like it's 425,000 light years away. Well, what the hell does that mean? Well, you know what I mean. What is it? Can I get there by walking? So
Yeah.
it's like you'd be surprised on. Well, so what the spaceship will take a year to get there. No, it'll take 425,000 years going at the speed of light.
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
so which we can't
If-
get to yet.
If you could do the speed of light.
Which we can't do that. Yeah, there was a conversation about
Exactly.
that. If you go to the speed of light, you actually slow down and stop, because you kind of you stretch yourself out so much. Your beginning is your ending, and kind of really theoretical kind of stuff going on. I was talking to a theoretical astrophysicist last night about it, and it was way beyond me. I'm not that smart, but it was really interesting to hear her try and explain it to me, and I'm like, all right, you got to stop. My head's gonna explode. It's gonna explode. I can't. But it's really interesting. So you got to cater to your audience, So
Oh yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, you get accused of trying to talk over people. It's like, not what
Or-
I'm doing. I'm just a total nerd. I'm sorry.
yeah, or worse, talking down to people, and
Right.
you know.
Yeah. That's what I meant more so.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's I think Dan, did we meet at AIC in 2022, or was it
it was
it was
neat.
at NEAF,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
I've never been to
Um,
AIC.
Okay, maybe
Unfortunately,
you'll get a chance.
I am hoping, and you could say what you
Yeah.
want to say, but I mean, I won't say anything. But
Yeah. I mean, AIC, the last one, unfortunately, was in 2022, and I think Warren had put that together and was the host of that, and so I was actually hanging out with Robert Reeves, and he's a neighbor of mine. He lives about 25 minutes away from me, and so I've been going over to his place and fiddling around the observatory and checking out that new Celestron origin scope, which is pretty cool. I mean, the way that it works. I mean, you set this thing up and it's auto focused and plate solved within like 2 minutes at most, and you're on target. And I do think that it was a really good move that they made it kind of for future proof. So if they get a new camera that will work with that, then you can upgrade it. So and I think there's some other cool upgrades they plan on doing with it. But so yeah, Robert was talking to me and said, with the position that you're in with the magazine, it could be uh, a good thing to try to relaunch AIC, since you're not directly associated with any particular manufacturer or
Yep.
distributor. And so, yeah, that's an aim. I'm trying to build a consortium of support for that and get that going, because I think the more big events we have where we can all get together and nerd out, the better.
yeah, I mean, and
Absolutely.
I spoke to you offline about this, and obviously have AstroWorld and AstroWorld telescope support. So
Absolutely.
no doubt, no doubt. Would love to have ASC, even if it's not in San Jose. If it's somewhere more localized or further east, Arizona, New Mexico, whatever, someplace dark, it might be nice.
That would definitely be nice. Have an after
Yeah.
AIC image set up or something.
Yeah, I mean, San Jose is nice because it's a big city, and you have all those conference centers and halls and stuff like that. But it's not really conducive.
Flagstaff, that's a certified
Flagstaff, yeah, that
it's
might not be
Garden
bad.
City, as they call it.
Yep.
Hmm.
So I mean, hey, that's
Yeah.
something to talk about. So
Yeah, some folks are already
Absolutely.
throwing out destination ideas. I mean, Norm says
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma would be nice. Yeah,
Oklahoma.
and yeah, because he says there's
Not
never
during
anything in the
tornado
central
season.
U.S. Tornado season
Not
never
during
leaves
tornado.
Oklahoma. What are you talking about?
Yeah, isn't Oklahoma central U.S.? A
Yeah,
little to the
it
right,
is.
a little to the right,
It's a
maybe.
little bit.
I don't
It's a
know.
little bit.
Like
But
it's like mid
so
central.
Yeah, unless you're talking
yeah,
like
yeah,
Kansas, that area, that's more central.
yeah.
Arkansas.
Iowa.
Arkansas.
Kansas.
as
Yeah,
as
yeah.
some of our friends down there would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of the, and being in San Antonio, and San Antonio is a really, I think it's kind of known also for a lot of conference centers. And so that was another idea to kind of pick out, to puzzle out. And I would think, I know the real estate's a lot cheaper in Texas compared to California, but I'm not sure about the conference centers. So if it was something a lot less cost prohibitive and less expensive for people, maybe it would be worth the travel.
Yeah.
Plus, we got the
Yeah, maybe
Alamo, and we're,
there's
you could get a conference center right on the Riverwalk, so you can walk to the Alamo, or just there's a lot of restaurants, so they're
Nice.
good kind of, I guess, amenity centered location.
Yeah, absolutely. And
yeah.
get some
Maybe
Texas
it could be
barbecue.
even like
Oh
maybe
yeah,
it could even be a little bit like taking a page out of Neef's book. Not to maybe there's a community college or something like that would be willing to host it in maybe their gym, and having a few rooms that you can have sessions like after imaging sessions and stuff like that. That may not be too far from a dark sky, or
right.
area. So you can say, hey, you know, yeah, Celestron's here, you know, Takahashi's here. We're doing all these sessions and stuff like that. But let's actually go out, you know, to
Yeah, not
somewhere,
in the
you know,
college
dark sky
parking
in
lot,
Texas.
you know.
Yeah, exactly. Not in the college parking lot. Yeah, exactly. But somewhere really dark, you know, that you can go out. That's maybe, I don't know, half hour out or hour out, and just say, all right, now let's this image,
Yeah.
something like that.
Hey
That would
guys,
work.
I'm just
hey
throwing
guys,
an idea out
I know
there.
y'all. I know y'all just bought some new equipment. I know you want to use it. Let's get those wrappers off.
There you go. There you go.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
you know what? Because it's probably going to be something purchased, the odds of clouds rolling in are probably pretty great. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of people
Yeah.
buying stuff. So you know, the amount of clouds is equal to the amount of equipment times the square root of whatever. So
Mhm. Exactly.
All right. So on that note, maybe we don't do it in San
you can do it. Do it. Hey, love to have you on Long Island, man. You won't get any
Oh,
imaging done.
gosh.
No
You won't get any
imaging.
imaging. None,
But
none
but
whatsoever. Like
but
everybody's like, why did we come here?
but we do have Manhattan. We do have Manhattan, and that's a nice place to go. So
Oh yeah.
you know, there's a lot of
All the
astronomy things. There's
astronomers
the
come
atomic
out.
clock. There's a lot of people don't.
Protest light pollution.
No, yeah.
Protest light pollution.
If you ever get a chance to go to Rockefeller Center, right? A lot of people don't know this, right? If you go to Rockefeller Center, you know that big gold guy that's overstretched
Oh yeah.
ice, right? Go
Mhm.
take a peek behind the guy, and you'll see the ring around the guy that's kind of holding him up. And on that ring is all the zodiacal signs that go around.
Oh,
And it's,
really?
yeah, it's kind of cool.
Oh, wow.
So you can check
That's
that
cool.
out. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of astronomy related things in New York, and if you know where to go, it's actually kind of cool. You know, you go see the atomic clock is kind of cool. You know, there's a lot of good stuff there. There's a lot of good. I could give you a list, you know, but if you ever go there, let me know. Hey Dan,
Definitely.
where's that filter? I'm sorry, I got a question. Where's that filter? I want some more clouds. It's coming. It should be here. I listen. You know, we had some issues with shipping and delivery. We weren't sure about what tariffs were going to hit the UK, if any at all, or the EU. So we were kind of waiting to see kind of what happened before they started shipping. It looks like it's going to be okay, but what I said is coming true, and you guys are gonna. I don't want to. I'm not going to mention companies' names right now, but there are Chinese companies out there that come next week will be raising prices only in the U.S. market to help.
Of course.
You know, to help the dealers recoup some of the margin that they lose, and it helps the dealers, but it obviously hurts the general public. So it's a sour note, but it is happening, and it's you're going to start seeing it probably within the next 10 days or so. So
Yeah.
Wow.
sorry to
That's
drop
sad.
a bomb on everybody, but I got a bunch of emails today of price increases. So
I had to expect it.
yeah. So
Yep.
just to give everybody in AstroWorld a heads up, pre-existing notes of things to come. So we all knew it was going to happen because it happened the first time. So it's going to happen the second time. So we'll see what happens. So, but everyone's going to buy stuff, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dan, you already
So,
have
Dustin,
a house.
What?
So you already have your next place picked out. You guys already bought a house, or
Well, no, we have this house. This is a purchased house. We still owe on the mortgage, but we need a bigger house now, and it looks like we may have some other, I guess, lifestyle changes, I guess you would call it. But um, so we got the business. Jen's got her new job. We got other stuff going on, but We're looking in still on Long Island in the Bortle 6 area. So we're still looking. We're still looking. We haven't found the perfect house. Nothing actually came at us and like jumped out at us and said, "Let's do it." No, that this is the one. Nothing's come out at us yet on both of us. Not either one of us. Whether the backyard sucks for me or the kitchen sucks for her, and it's like one of these things where this might take a little bit longer than I thought. But once we put this house on the market, it's Levittown, so we got to be very, very careful because houses in this area literally sell within a week.
Wow.
Yeah, and usually
Not a bad problem to have.
no, but we can't we can't sell it without having a place to live. So it's kind of like what Eric just went through. With the sale of his house and the move to Georgia. I'm not moving that far. I'm probably only moving maybe 30 miles to the east and to the north, on the North Shore. But it's a lot darker. You'd be surprised on Long Island because I think it's 90 miles at its longest width. Maybe I think I got the I don't know. It's very thin, Long Island, but the difference between the North Shore and the South Shore is literally at least one border, if not two, difference.
Nice.
So
Wow.
the South Shore is a Bortle 8.5, unless you go way out east. You go in the same spot and just go to the North Shore, it's a Bortle 7 or 6.
Nice. That'll make a huge difference for imaging for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I can actually get some data that I actually care about. So
Yeah.
Without having to rock
I've got a
3 nanometer
question.
filters.
Yeah, there it is. You won't have to worry about that. Well, in a Bortle 6, Bortle 6 or 7, you can probably get away with like a 5 nanometer or 7 nanometer in a Bortle.
yeah, but I got my
6.
3s. I'm not going to go by more. I'm not going to go by 5s.
Yeah.
It's not. What I'm curious to see is one-shot color and the difference between here and there. Because it is a Bortle 6, and I'm still in the 19s as far as the SQM is concerned. I'm not at the 17.8 I'm at now. But I'm wondering how much more I can push it in a Bortle 6 than I can here. As here it's just almost, it's not impossible, it's just difficult.
So, hey, Dustin, got a question for you. In the
Sure.
magazine, since you have been, leading it, for this time, what has there been any particular articles or anything that you can think back to say, this was something, was it a really memorable article or anything, that you had published that you still can remember, nowadays? You can remember today that says, looking back and says, that was pretty cool, that we were able to post that here.
Yeah, that's an awesome question. Just going back to, I believe it's important to really enjoy what we're doing and not just fight with equipment and stuff, right? I'd say probably the most memorable and just it was kind of a first for me because having gotten into astronomy kind of late and not having a lot of experiences of going out to meteor showers or seeing eclipses and stuff like that. I After I had moved to San Antonio from Houston, I just saw on Facebook that the Perseid meteor shower was peaking. I think it was like around like August 12th or so last year.
Mhm.
And so uh, I think I had the weekend free, and I called my mom and asked if she would want to go check that out, see if we could drive out to Hunt or somewhere darker west of Kerrville, which is in the hill country, and check that out to see how good it was going to be. And and then I got to Kerrville, and we went to Ingram, and she said, "Oh yeah, you know they moved the Stonehenge replica to Ingram, and it used to be way out in Hunt, like an hour west, and so it's a full size replica of Stonehenge, but it's perfect, so you know that it's not real. None of the
Sure.
stones have fallen off or anything." And so I went into the Hill Country Arts Foundation and asked someone if I could set up there that night and try to shoot the Milky Way over the replica, and then just set up a camera to do some recording to get the meteors. And they said, yeah, that's no problem. Here's my phone number, just in case the police department rolls by. You can say you've got permission to be here, and they can give me a call. And they said, we'll turn the lights off for you because at night it's all lit up. So they shut the lights off in the parking lot and around the installation. And I was able to get some pretty cool shots of the Milky Way over the Stonehenge and through some of the stones with a really interesting framing with just my stock DSLR and my smartphone, which is kind of wild what smartphones are able to do nowadays.
Oh yeah.
And then
Yeah.
right, I mean, like especially the Android ones have a dedicated astrophoto mode.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I'd been wanting to really do a Star Trails image. I'd never done one, and I knew that there was a Star Trails mode on the phone. And so I set up, I was exhausted. It was like maybe 3 in the morning or so. And I set my phone up on this little tripod and hit record, but I forgot to hit the Star Trails icon. So it just recorded the time lapse of the stars rotating. And so I was like, okay, well, that kind of stinks. It's over. I woke up in my car like at 6 in the morning, daylight's breaking. And so I went home, or I went to my mom's house and was watching the video, and I was like, man, the freaking lights across the street got really bad last night because this red glow came in and was like shimmering. And then I started looking up on spaceweather.com, and it said that because of a really
Oh, the
X-class
aurora.
storm, the aurora had come all the way south, as far south as Mexico, and so I was able to capture the auroras on that time lapse, and then I was able to stack the images after I ran it through PIP, and still get my Star Trails image. But yeah, I'd say that was probably the most memorable. Was just a random, spontaneous, throw some little cameras in the car and go, and just I sat out there under the sky and just really enjoyed myself.
Nice.
Awesome. That's really cool. Now, how do how do you get contributors to send material, or how do you let people know, hey, if they want to send an article or send contributions like photos or anything like that, how do they go about doing that?
The easiest way to reach us, we have a dedicated email for the magazine, which is amapmagazine@gmail.com. It's not a map magazine. um, but yeah, so amateur ap amap magazine gmail.com is the best way to get in touch with us if you'd like to submit an article. And for articles, we definitely want to have a good mix of how-to articles, experience things your question was asking about, something memorable, like if you can detail out the trip that you took, and just you know I think speaking about the human experience of these things, along with like the technical stuff, because we are all nerds at heart, right? I think
Yeah,
is definitely
exactly.
important.
Yeah.
So and also DIY, because really I'd say astrophotography has, I think its roots are kind of deeply embedded in DIY, because no one was commercially making anything. Everyone was, outfitting their film cameras for
Uh-huh.
this, and then figuring out ways to sensitize their film emulsion,
Yep.
and like sitting there guiding for 30 minutes manually. So I've seen some really cool things on Facebook of people like machining their own camera trackers, and so would really love to get people that are hardcore DIY and ingenuitive, writing about stuff and submitting that. And along with that is I also want to, while this is astrophotography, one thing I want to incorporate is like adjacent industries that are supportive to what we do. So say all the way from personal astrophotography to like big installations like solar power or battery storage systems. Like if you're going somewhere like West Texas or Arizona, Death Valley or something, you've got to have a means to power your equipment. So for a personal level, and then also like if you're someone setting up a telescope farm and you need just to provide all of your power, I want to have just information in there from like solar companies, machining things, 3D printing. So kind of an all-inclusive thing. So anyone trying to find something can have the means to do it.
Gotcha. Are you planning on heading up to NEAF this year? Nice.
Yep. already got the Airbnb and the tickets, plane tickets, everything. We're ready to rock.
Nice.
Sweet.
Nice. Sweet. Speaking of that, Dan, I just bought my tickets yesterday.
All right.
Flight ticket. So I bought
All right.
So I'm set. So I'll be there flying in on Friday morning, and I'll fly out on Monday morning.
I'll be driving.
Oh, I'm driving that lovely hour and 15 minutes north. So
yeah.
So difficult.
4.5 for me.
So
I get lucky where it is because I'll be there at like 12 o'clock on Friday setting up. 1 o'clock. Then go to the bar. Actually, got dinner on Friday. Got dinner on Friday night at Mount Fuji's, guys. So Friday night.
Nice.
So.
Okay, right on. So us and the Prima Luce guys, huh?
Yep.
Nice.
Whoop.
Yeah, it would be, huh? Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice to drive. Like Dan. Just driving an hour, or even
I don't usually get that. Usually, I gotta drive like 9 hours. Like Cherry Springs is like 7 hours.
Yeah.
To get to a Portal 3.
Yeah, because from here to get to NEAP, because I was looking at Google mapped it, it's like 13 hours.
That's about right.
I was like, yeah. I was like, okay, yeah.
Well, the good thing is you don't have to drive through Manhattan, because you don't have to drive through Manhattan. If you had to drive through the city, it'd be like 17 hours.
Yeah.
That's no joke, man.
No thanks.
You hit the New York wall, man.
Yeah. I've only lived here in Central Georgia now for a couple months, and I hate just driving through Atlanta. It's horrible. So no thanks. I'm good.
Where did you move from?
I moved from a town, Belvedere, Illinois. It's next to Rockford. Actually, and if in correlation to Chicago, it's about an hour to hour and a half northwest of Chicago. I'm closer heading towards Madison, Wisconsin. I'm heading towards the state line.
Okay.
Towards Wisconsin. So yeah. Yep, and
nice.
then moved down here to Atlanta just before Christmas. And yeah, I've driven through Atlanta traffic enough times to say, yeah, I definitely don't want to do that again. And how many times I've driven through Atlanta traffic? 4 times. That's it. That was good.
I know everyone in the city always. We all have our horror stories about traffic if we live in the city, right?
Oh man.
God,
oh yeah.
The only thing worse than Manhattan traffic that I found, at least I've driven all over the US. I drove to Nebraska from New York. I've drove into North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, everything in between on the drive, Omaha, and I've driven in California. The only place I've seen worse than New York is the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway in
Oh
California.
God, you think so? You think PCH is bad? You think Highway 1 is bad?
6 lanes of dead stop gridlock traffic on both sides.
Yeah,
That's
DC's
not PC.
pretty
It's not
bad
PC.
too.
I'm
It's not
try,
P-
you know,
you must be
DC I
thinking
could
the
deal with.
405.
DC
You
is
must
like
be
a
thinking the 405.
yeah, no, the Pacific Coast Highway coming up, coming up the coast is
Yeah.
a mess. At least the week that I was there, it was a mess.
Okay.
I'm,
It was a mess for you.
I'm
Okay.
only judging it on that 1 week. So I mean, yeah.
Gotcha.
So I don't know what it looks like any other time, but I'll tell you this: it wasn't a peak time. It was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was just a mess. But it's not like New York. New York is 3 or 4 lanes. Same thing with DC. It's 3 or 4 lanes. This is 6 lanes one way.
One way, yeah, the 405. Yep.
Going
405 is 6 lanes, and it's just there's no frontage roads, there's no side roads or anything like that. The 405 is a nightmare.
Yeah.
It is a freaking nightmare.
It's bad.
Oh
Yeah.
man, so yeah, no.
Boston's
And
not bad.
done that.
I've driven to Boston a bunch of times. Boston's a piece of cake.
I've had to. I took. Speaking of Highway 1, the Pacific Coast Highway, I drove from San Bernardino to Vandenberg Air Force Base. I had some friends, and my stepkids were living there, and went to go visit them. And somehow I managed to drive the 5.5 hours one way, and realized once that I had arriven there that I did not have my ID with me. So I had to drive 5.5 hours back, and then 5.5 hours back.
Yeah.
But
It's like
Ouch,
a
yeah.
20-hour
Yeah.
drive, man. You should have just driven to Florida.
Ouch.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
and
Oh.
I've done that. I've
Yeah.
done that drive too. Yeah, 2019 November, I drove out to Cape Canaveral for the Mercury transit, just
Nice.
because it was a potential chance of clouds in Texas on the Gulf Coast. So
Nice.
18-hour drive, it'll
That's
be
for
worth it.
sure.
I got a picture of the Mercury transit. It's probably the worst photo I've ever taken ever. And I've taken some pretty bad photos, and that says a lot. So this thing was the sun was pink, and the dot that was Mercury, that little dot was like a black ant. It was like kind of like stretched, and it was. I did it through a Solar Max that I never even used before, but it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad, but I still have it. I still say that's Mercury. So
It's pretty wild when you look at that. Yeah, mine was nothing fancy, just a white light filter on my Celestron 120.
yep.
But even that experience was super cool. I mean, I got to I had a 1 by 1 foot piece of solar film, and
Yep.
just had a pair of scissors. People would come up, hey, you want to see Mercury passing in front of the sun? It's not going to happen for another, like 23 years or
Yep.
something. And cut them a little piece, and they'd rubber band it to their binoculars, and boom, we had like 15 people looking at the sun.
Nice. Yeah, I did the same thing with the. I did white light with the Venus transit, and that was a lot of fun because you know what? I got some really cool pictures of that because it was weird. It was very cloudy where we were, and the clouds just made the picture look so much cooler. Because it was a black cloud over the sun with a black spot on it. It was like, because it was all white light, right? So, but it was pretty cool. I got to show you the pictures. They're pretty wild.
Yeah, it's when was the Venus transit?
What was that 2012? Was it? There was 2 back to back, like within a couple years, and then it's not gonna happen until I'm dead. But I mean, it's
Yeah,
like
same.
I want to say it was 2012. I could be wrong.
Nice.
I don't know.
That one would have been Mercury is pretty tiny, so Venus would have been super
Well, Mercury
cool
was
to see.
17, I think, if I remember right. Venus transit. Let's see. And of course, Siri doesn't work. So
Of course it doesn't. Of course
it's
not.
just horrible. I
That's
mean,
how it is.
I
That's
swear,
how it
I
is.
swear, the phones have got dumber since COVID. I really do. I really believe it's a COVID conspiracy with the cell phones. The spell check sucks. Siri and Alexa got like totally stoned and had a bad trip and never came back. And it's just it doesn't even spell things right anymore. Not even with the context. It used to figure it out that all right, well, it's wrong because of the context is what it is. And
So you want to know the next Venus transit
no,
of the
when the
sun?
last one was.
Oh, the last.
Yeah,
Next one's
when's
not
when's
till 2117.
Yeah, I'm gonna be way dead.
December 10th and 11th on 2117, and then December 8th and 2125. So the last one was
I'll get my Airbnb set up for that. But do
June
you guys book
56,
100
2012.
years out?
Was it
2012.
2012? Okay, 2012.
2012.
Yeah, so yeah, 2012. And I think 2017 was the Mercury transit.
Yeah, you guys got to take part in that. How long have y'all been into astrophotography?
I've only been doing it basically since the pandemic, 2021.
My first shots were with
End of
film.
2020, like
So
late 2020, I guess I started.
yeah, my first shots were with film, and then I got an adapter for my HP Photosmart 815. Little dinky point and shoot camera. That didn't work out very well. Then I bought a SAC-7B, which was the first CCD kind of imager that was available for people that can't afford anything. The chip was no kidding. You think a 120 is small? This chip was like if I were to prick my finger and let a drop of blood go on a slide. That's about how big this chip was. And I still don't. I still have some pictures from that. No flats, no darks. It just looks like garbage. And then I slowly moved into the Rebel phase, the Rebel XT phase, and I got
Oh,
a
yeah.
digital Rebel. I had 35 millimeter. I used Pentax K1000, an Olympus OM1, and then I moved up to a Minolta Maxim. I did that. All of my film images, I can't find them. Don't even know where they are. Don't know.
Wow.
They were all in a shoebox, kinda, and the shoebox got lost, and I don't know. But there was before scanning. There was no scanners, so there was none of that. So all those have hit the wind, along with my picture of Dr. McCoy from a Star Trek convention that I was at. I'll never get back. But anyway,
Nerd alert.
oh yeah, total. And listen, I was the guy that spent $2,000 for a weekend for the Star Trek 50th anniversary in Parsippany, New Jersey. So I mean, it wasn't even a big. But we're mostly all nerds here. But and so yeah, so I moved up to the Rebel XT, and I got some really good images. I bought a LX200 GPS was my first real kind of scope. And then I bought as a guide scope, I bought an Orion 80 ED for a guide scope
Nice.
for $999. Bought it
Wow.
for an $999. 2 months after I bought it, the 100 came out and the 80 drops to $699. Yeah. so
tell us how you really feel, buddy.
Yeah. So I was not I was so mad. I was so mad. But then I realized that the 80 ED, that Orion 80 ED was a great scope. And I'm like, this is too good to be using as a guide scope. What am I doing? So I used that to do my first kind of wider field stuff. And I got all these images behind me are all images that I've taken. I just haven't had the time to. I really enjoy processing and doing and learning, and now that's how much easier it is without having to deconvolve images for like 3.5 hours because you can't get the damn worms away or the de-ringing and all that kind of stuff. Now you have you have our buddy Star and BlurX, Russell Croman.
Russell Crowe,
So
and now
SETI Astro,
Frankie from SETI Astro,
yeah. So all these guys coming out with these great AI involved actions that have helped us, get results a lot quicker than we've had ever before, and the learning curve has gotten so less and less. I guess the learning curve is, as opposed to I was one of those guys that was manually guiding, with the stupid joystick,
Yeah.
and it was not fun looking through a reticle eyepiece for hours, and it's not fun. That almost made me quit astrophotography. That really almost made me quit. I was like, this is bullshit. What the and my pictures suck. So and me sitting outside bending over an eyepiece for hours on end just to make sure that damn star don't move because my polar alignment sucked because it was just so bad. But it's just one of those things that the technology gets better. Stuff like the Pole Master comes out and helps your polar alignment. Then then SharpCap comes out and says, "Screw you! You can use any camera." So now you can use any camera to do polar alignment. Then Nina comes out, and you got the 3-point. You don't even know a star anymore. So I mean, these things are getting better and better. And I'm sorry, all you people that are like, sub 30 years old and doing this and getting pictures like Dustin has behind you, and within a year, screw you guys. That's it. Screw you guys. I'm going home. But it's good that we get these results now so quickly and are able to take images like you would have never thought of. You were talking about hypersensitizing film, and I was like, oh my god, I remember that. And don't do that. Get the Fuji. Get the Fuji. No, sorry. But it's like one of those things that the things that we used to kind of murder and kill ourselves over, we don't need to do it anymore.
It's come a long way. Yeah, I mean, even camera technology. When I started at Land, Sea, and Sky, I think the 183 and the 294 were still both, fairly relevant camera sensors and options, but you still had amp glow.
Yep.
You had that wonderful starburst over on the side.
On the two of those.
It's like a supernova.
Exactly. It's like wow, this looks like that Japanese, whatever that painting is.
Yeah.
And so, and then the what was it? The Altair 269 came out, and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is no amp glow. I think that one was a 12-bit camera. And then the 26C dropped, and I bought one of those and went out to the Houston Astronomical Society dark site, and finally I was like, all right, we're not hopping from target to target anymore. We're not spending an hour on a ride and jumping to this. I'm setting up, I'm imaging one thing all night long, and I shot 5 hours on the horse head and processed that data. And I was like, wow, this camera is insane.
Yep.
Like that whole line of IMX sensors is just really incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're going to go from that, but
I'm telling you, they're gonna come out with a no dark, no bias camera. They're gonna come out with the re-noise is gonna be like, I don't know, 0.00007 electrons, which you're not even gonna have to take anything. They're gonna, and if they start using better, better than B class chips, and like Altair, I think they use A class chips in their cameras. And I say this a lot when Dave showed me a dark of his 26 mono. I literally searched for like 20 minutes before I found a dead pixel.
A dead pixel?
Because the amount of pixels that are in an A class chip that are dead are it's like less than 1%.
Yeah.
Out of what? How many millions of pixels are it? It makes no sense. But the whole thing is like the B class and the C class chips that you get in some of these lower end cameras. I mean, you zoom in once, you're like, oh, there's 3. There's 3
Right.
because the tolerances are less. That's why you get A class, B class, and C class chips, because it's about the performance of that chip, and how
Right.
much of a variation between defective pixels,
Yeah.
are allowed in these chips.
Yeah, and some of these they're switching from rolling shutters
The
to
globals.
the global shutters,
Globals,
and
yep.
if you go, these cameras coming out, the new ones are 16-bit. Next thing's going to be 24-bit cameras, and it's technology will make them better every year. They're going to get their figure
Every year.
something.
Can you imagine the
Figure
color
something.
in a 24-bit or 48-bit cam?
Can you imagine if they doing that with little tiny, like the 585's got such little tiny pixels,
Yeah,
and then you
it'd be
have a
crazy.
pixel size that small on a 24-bit camera that details.
It's gonna be out of control. I mean, it's gonna be
I'm here
unbelievable.
for it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So we got Eric. You want to show
Yep.
the pictures?
Yeah. Just give me a second.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
queue
Why don't
them
we
up
take a look and see what kind of pictures we got for image of the week? Because I believe
Yeah.
voting is open. I believe
Voting is open.
Yeah, voting is open. So
I
everybody
voted
go vote.
earlier.
Absolutely open.
Vote for your picture of the
When
week,
do-
and don't forget to vote for picture novice picture, which is underneath that.
Yep. Yeah. So don't forget, because we do have quite a few still. They vote for the experience bracket, but they forget to scroll down again and go back and do the novice. So you got to do it twice, guys. So don't forget that. But yeah, let me go
Yeah, you
ahead.
go to
and bring up my-
www.astroworldweb.com, and then you can go to contests, image of the week. There you go.
Yep. And here it is. So
Yeah. Let me
yep,
make.
Woot, woot.
AstroWorld Web.
What's that?
Yeah.
I said woot woot.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh yeah, they're
So
like
yep,
put novice on top. They
AstroWorldWeb.com/ILTW.
said,
Put novice on.
Okay, maybe that.
and then we
Yeah.
won't get any votes for the other one.
They were giving any votes to the other one. Yeah. So again, congrats to Kevin,
Wow.
who won our image of the week for February for the Boogeyman for
I love that
the
picture. He's
last
like
for February
floating in
28th.
there.
It's awesome. Yeah.
That is a killer shot.
So it is
Really
a
well
great,
done.
great image. Yeah. So all right. So our first images of the week entrance for March, our first one on the experience bracket is from Dr. Greg Meyer. We have M97 and M108, the Owl Nebula in the Surfboard Galaxy that he took with his Esprit 120. And then we have the Fox Fur in a new light. This was done in the Hubble palette by Chris Fierksen with his Edge 8.
Nice. I saw that one on the Discord server.
Yeah.
Yeah. And our last experience shot is the Rosette Nebula. And this one was done by
That's the
this is a
skull.
two-pane
That's the
mosaic.
skull version.
The skull version. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
'Cause
you can see the
can't
skull.
unsee the skull. You can't unsee it.
That's the rotation with the skull. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this was done by Robert Fitzhenry. with his
Nice.
Takahashi TOA 130.
There you go.
Nice. There you go.
All right. And for our novice, we have first entrant was The Running Man by Paul Burkhart.
Nice.
And then we had another Rosette Nebula entry. This one was done by Tori Gadwa. And
Nice.
he took that with his ED102. And last but not least, we have Thor's helmet taken by Brian Vinci with his RC8. So again, don't forget to vote. Once you vote here for the first one, it's going to take you, and you click on that's your final answer. It's going to take you back to the top. We know it's kind of weird. Take it back to the top, but then you got to scroll back down here to the novice bracket and do it again and choose your novice entrant. Because so far we only have 9 votes for novice compared to 20 votes for the experience bracket. So, hey, don't stop. You're only halfway done, guys, when you vote for the experience bracket. So yeah, but all 6 shots, fantastic.
Yeah.
And very, very cool. So yeah, thank you. And go back here. All right.
Sweet. Good stuff. Good
You
stuff.
guys have any projects that you're personally working on?
Moving.
Yeah, so
I'm
I
moving.
just did the little pinwheel in Ursa Major. I pretty much have all that done, and I've got on the Carbon Star. I was doing the Flaming Star Nebula, so I've got a lot of data on that. So, but I couldn't calibrate because I didn't have dark device. But I will after I'm taking it. So, and then I started because that was setting probably around 11:30 or midnight. So I would then hopped over with that to M51. Started doing it. So I'll get more on M51 and everything. So
nice.
Yeah, for me, I just wrapped up capturing all the data, collecting all the data for this is going to be my first mosaic. It's going to be a 4-pane mosaic of Orion's belt and the Bernard's loop. So right, just like that one you have there behind you. So that I took with my Rokinon 135 and my 533 mono. So I did HA luminance and RGB on that. So I kept even for and I had it set at f2. So I kept for the luminance, I was overexposing, even with me doing it at 1 minute. I mean, the stars, the core was getting blown out, and on attack was just crazy overexposed. So I had to cut it down by half. And this is one of those key things when you really got, when we talk about novice or just imaging in general, you got to watch that histogram because that histogram, even at 1 minute, it was instead of the edge, it was like already to a quarter.
Oh wow, that's
to the right. So even at 1 minute, so that 30 seconds, it brought me back down to pretty close to the edge of the left of the histogram. So I was like, okay, now we're good. So this will be my first mosaic that I'm ever going to try. So I'm looking forward to the challenge and figuring it all out.
Yeah, that's something that I haven't, except for that little mosaic I shot with the Rasa 8 on Orion, which I stitched together in Photoshop by just dropping the opacity, overlining stars, and then came the painstaking process of getting everything's brightness to even up. Wasn't a fantastic image, but it was still something cool. But yeah, it's definitely something I would like to undertake. I've shot the Orion Nebula, so I think I got M42 and M43, and a little bit of the Running Nebula at f7 with the C11. and then I shot the horse head, and you can see the horse head, you can see the flame nebula, and then you can see that the stars that are ionizing that field of hydrogen, like there's a flare coming from the top of the image, which I thought was cool. I tried to process it out, but I actually ended up really liking that kind of that flare. And so I was like, it would only take me 48 panels to stitch together Orion and the horse head. So maybe,
Maybe.
maybe we'll try that one day when we're definitely ready to just go to the loony bin.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So you're working on nothing but moving right now, huh, Dan?
Oh, well, see, I got so I can't even show you what I got going on. I mean, it's you think I'm joking. It's a mess here.
It's madness.
It's total madness. You know what I'll do? I'll do yourself a favor. You know what I'm saying? Give me a second here. I'll show you what I'm dealing with in 2 seconds. All right, here we go.
I think one of my favorite videos I've ever seen on YouTube was Dan talking about the Queen's traffic.
Yeah.
Oh, that is not for the faint of heart, that one.
That was great.
If you don't like cursing, do not watch it. Let's see.
You want to get a real taste of New York? This is what you watch.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll get it. You will definitely get it.
Yeah, looking forward to exploring the island a little bit more this time around. Definitely going to Bleecker Street Pizza again.
Oh, there you go.
Didn't get to go play in the Friends fountain. The last time we were there, I wanted to go jump around in the fountain and see if I could, not get arrested. Like what? They did it in Friends. Why can't I?
Yeah, exactly. This is gonna stop me for a second. Give me a second. And
Is that your shot behind you, Eric?
Yeah, his dark shark.
Yeah, my dark
That's
shark.
killer.
Thanks. This was my unicorn. This was the
Nice.
one that kept me that I fought for. I started imaging in 2018 with initially it started in 2017 with my Nexstar 8SE and with the Audaz setup, and I got like 10-second or 20-second shots of M97 and M51. And then after that, I was like, babe, I saw Trevor Jones too, and I just got hooked. It's like,
yeah.
Trevor Jones is to blame for a lot of people.
He is. I was like, it's like straight up like it's so, and it's so much like the Matrix. I should have took the blue pill. I should have took the freaking blue pill.
Get out.
Because I went down. Yes, because I went down that rabbit hole. And then in soon after, because we got the 8SC like in the fall of 2017, and then so 2018, in the spring of 2018, I got an AVX, and I bought a Gran Turismo, a GT71 William Optics, and we were out, and then I got a 183 because I was on astronomy.tools, figuring out the whole compatibility, figuring out. Yep. Like Trevor was showing you, saying, okay, the 183 will work. And I just went nuts. And my first images that I started taking were of M42. And I had no idea, about caliber. I knew about the calibration frames, but I really didn't understand a lot of it. And I took those shots, and then all of a sudden that 183, that amp glow starburst And I'm screaming up and down like, what?
My camera's broken.
I got a busted camera. I know, I'm on Facebook. I'm screaming my head off. I'm bitching and moaning. I'm like, I spent like $900 on this scope. I just spent another $900 on this AVX, and I bought this camera for like $700. I've spent thousands, and this is what I get. What the? And then we're like, dude, calm down. Did you take your flats?
Dark frames.
In the flat. What the hell is the flat? and there was that. And so I was like, all right. And my wife was like, she was like, okay, so there's a solution. I was like, yeah, there's a solution. Now I got to go back and I've got to do it all over again because, you know, I can't go back and do flat. So now I've got to scrap all that and I got to start all over again.
That's funny.
Because that was before, you know, like the Giotto and, you know,
flat panels, yeah,
you know,
and
the flat panels. So I'm doing sky flats. Here I am in December, freezing my ass off in Illinois,
telescope,
trying to get. I'm getting up like at 5 o'clock. It was probably about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning because it's winter, and I'm waiting for the sun to come up. And, you know, so I'm putting, you know, the t-shirt on and all that stuff. And I'm just freezing out there and getting this all done. And but then it came out. Okay. And then I realized, you know, after all that, I'm happy. Even before then, I'm getting ticked off because then it was the whole bit about polar alignment. And if you've ever tried to polar align an AVX, forget about it because you're on you, especially in the winter.
Yep.
I mean, I've got snow all on my knees. I'm freezing. I got wet jeans and all. I'm trying to look through this freaking scope. I'm like down here, but I can't see it. You know,
which doesn't even come with a polar scope, right?
Nope. So I had to buy the polar scope, screw that thing in, and I'm getting on my knees, and I'm not getting any younger, so my back's already bad, and I'm just like down here, and I'm like, this. I don't know if I could keep doing this. And then I saw who was it? Stacey Dalton. She had advertised. She was on her channel. She said she had just gotten the Pole Master.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, sold. So I was on High Point the very next day. I'm like, shut up,
take my money.
Yep.
Exactly. That was it.
And don't forget to pay the extra $38 for the adapter you needed for that.
Oh yeah, I had to get the adapter too. I had to get the adapter and all. So oh yeah. Everybody's reminding me, Eric, take the lens cap off. You guys are never gonna let me live that down.
Oh no!
last year, Dustin, last year I go with a buddy of mine to Terre Haute, Indiana, to meet up with Tom Peter, who's in our chat here, to get the eclipse, right? So I'm going down there. I've got my 183, and I've got one of like my 533 or one of the other, and then I've also got another setup. I got two setups, right? So I've got the 183 with the AVX, I think, and I'm getting that all. No, it wasn't with the AVX. It was my little alt-az mount. I'm getting it all set up, ready to go, and I'm getting nothing. It's just total. I'm like, what the actual pitch black, and I'm just like, and the freaking eclipse is coming. It's coming, and I'm like, and you know, and I've got the whole software that talks back at you, saying, you know, first phase is coming, you know, here, you know, countdown, you know, and I'm counting, and I'm like, what the actual? And I'm just freaking out. So I'm just like, son of a, screw it, leave it. So I leave the Rokinon setup down there, and I'm like, oh, good. So then I just start using my DSLR and everything else, and everything's going great. So then now I've got the eclipse, everything. I'm happy, but I'm still ticked off of why the heck didn't the other one work? So I can get, because I had the Rokinon with a ZWO camera, so I can do a video of it and all. I go back, I go see it, I take the sunshade off, I take the solar cap off, and I look at it. Mother, the damn dust cap's on.
Oh, no.
And I'm just God. And I was like, that's it. There's my dumbass moment right there.
Well, I've got one exactly the same for you. I hadn't done any imaging in like 3 months, and my mom came to visit in Houston, and I'm set up with the 183 mono. I just picked up an Astrodon 5 nanometer HA filter, and I was wanting to shoot the elephant's trunk. Because one that same trip that I actually no. So after I took my telescope to California, I went to California the next Christmas, and it was right after I had shot that mosaic, that 12 something panel with the 120, and because I had bought it from OPT, they had reached out just randomly, I think via email or maybe it was even phone call, just to see. I think it actually was a phone call. They called me just to see how I was liking the purchase because I had bought a telescope package, and and I said, yeah, I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying it. I've done a couple cool things with it. If I can send you a picture of this mosaic that I did, and they said, oh, that's awesome, dude, and I said, I'm going to be in California, pretty close down to Oceanside, in a couple weeks. You guys have a storefront or anything? I'd love to come and just say thanks, for the help. They said, no, we just have a warehouse, but you're welcome to come by. So I got to stop by OPT and met Dustin Gibson there, and a lot of the people that were doing the social media marketing. Which I still, man, that Icarus filter, April Fool's video.
I know, that was so good.
I was like, dude, I was sold. I was looking at my bank account, just like, all right, am I gonna have enough for this filter? I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't pan out. It didn't click to me. Oh yeah, because I don't do holidays. I don't keep track of that stuff really. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. It was an April Fool's thing. I'm an idiot. But no, I was set up using the 183 and the FSQ85, and my mom's sitting on the back of her truck on her tailgate, and for like 20 or 30 minutes, I'm sitting there like, okay, I'm turning the gain all the way up. I'm hitting the lightning button and sharp cap. Why aren't the stars coming up? What is going on? I just used this thing to test it out, and I'm inventing cuss words at this point. And then I look at the front of the telescope and I'm like, okay, hold please. And then everything was good.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. You're not the only one.
Well, I feel a little better now, so
we'll share the burden.
Things. Yeah, there you go.
Well, even Trevor talks about, accidentally leaving his Batnoff mask on for an entire session.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it happens, man. Things like that happen. That's why I made that stupid "Don't Get Frustrated" video of all the stupid things we do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're not the only one.
Nope.
Well, that was it. Friday we had Kevin Rasso on, and he had Nina getting ready to go in the background. Sure enough, it starts up, and he's like, "Oh God!" And we're like, "What happened?" He's like, "So in Nina, if you do your sequence, a lot of times you'll set it up and do your sequence. The next morning, you just basically save it and then close it, and then so the next night all you do is pull up the save sequence, you load it up. But if you save it after it's already run, it saves it as if it's run everything. So you'll hit start.
It doesn't reset,
and it'll start it'll center, and as soon as it gets to start taking subframes,
Oh,
it
no.
goes right through them, and then it arcs your scope, warms your camera.
Oh,
And
no.
it was like, oh, and I've done that
I've
a
done
couple
that.
times.
And it took, you know, and the one time it happened to me, it took me a while to figure out why the hell it was happening.
Oh yeah, and then you have to go into see what once you realize the check mark.
And then all of a
And it
sudden, you know,
shows-
you're not looking at it. And
You
I'm like,
see, it's
but-
already taken. I was like, it didn't
yeah, but you're
take
looking
those
on the
frames.
left side. You're looking for something on the left side, right? Saying it's all right, it's fine, it's not.
Yeah.
And you keep on pressing play. It's like trying to open up the refrigerator door and close it to see if the light's still on.
Yeah.
You know, that's not going to happen. You know, you know. So, you know,
It's a good analogy.
yeah. So I have my moments.
You have your moments.
Oh man. So what else we got? It's almost 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's about that time.
Yeah.
You guys are in the future. It's only almost 9 here.
Oh yeah. No, you're in the
Yeah.
past.
Yeah.
Tell me what the lottery
we're in the
numbers are.
past. Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
my father used to do before when I was young, you know, younger. My father did this same shit to me. My dad was a practical joker, and he was always like that. So I'd come home and he loved watching Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, and it was back to back all the time at like 7 to 8 in New York, and he'd be watching, and I'd be watching him, and every once in a while, he'd freaking know. I mean, I thought he was the most smartest guy on the planet because he would know like these answers to these questions that I was like, oh my God, how do you even know this? I said, Dad, you're not that smart, man. What are you doing? You know, how do you know this? He's like, oh yeah, well, I watch it all the time. So after a while, I figured out what he was doing. A half an hour before the show came on, it aired on another channel, and he would watch it and get all the answers, and he'd write them down and try and remember them by the time I got home, so he would look like he's a genius. He'd be like solving like these big Wheel of Fortune things after like 2 letters, and I'm like, there's no way you know that.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he got me for a while on that. Like, how does he know this? It was on some random channel called TV New York 55, and it showed up. It's like an hour behind the regular network channels, and it was the same show. It was like
That's awesome.
It was crazy. But,
Sounds like an awesome person.
no, my dad was great, man. He was awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
You're like, when did you become the Rain Man?
yeah. Oh my God. Like, he's answering a question from a half hour ago. He actually was. Oh man. But anyway. All right.
I digress.
Yeah. So it's 9 to 10. 9 to 10. Did the Rangers lose?
It's not over yet. 9:30 left. The third, they're winning 2-1.
You suck just as bad as us.
Sturgeon seems like he's standing on his head.
Yeah, I hear you. But
You guys y'all do any Milky Way photography?
I can't even see the Milky Way from where I am. So
I tried it with my cell phone up in Michigan, up in northern Michigan. And I didn't have anything to see, kind of support it, keep it steady, but you can kind of see it.
Yeah, I the last time I actually did any Milky Way was a few years back when I went to New Mexico.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and started.
We
stayed at
scored.
Airbnb. Game over.
No,
Nope.
Ovechkin scored.
Fucking guy. Just
Oh,
break the record already.
10 away. 884.
How many games left? 20?
15, 17, something like that.
17, 10 and 7. He could do it this year. He could do it.
I'm
He's
going
gonna-
Friday,
he's
by
gonna
the way. I
go.
won't be here Friday. I won't be on Friday. I'm going to the game.
Yeah. I won't be here Friday either. I'll be in Canada.
Oh,
Oh,
I talked to Sean. Sean and Wayne were on the chat today. I asked him if one of them wanted to do it.
You know, I'll try and make it. So I know Eric's got a guest. You got a guest this Friday.
yeah, I do. Yeah, I guess this Friday.
Who's
I'm
your
gonna try.
guest?
I'm gonna try and make it. I'm gonna try and get up there into Sean's. Well, that sounded perfect. Into Sean's bedroom. So,
What?
It's not getting any better.
It's not getting any better.
So I can get on his use his computer to get on the show. So,
Yeah, okay. Good
that was so
Lord.
bad.
Suspect, buddy.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
Forget about it.
there's something about what a 10-hour booty call. Is that what that is? No.
Good Lord.
No.
God.
I like you, Sean, but you're not my type. Sean's
No.
pee-pee.
Yeah, Sean's
Oh, that's
PP.
killer.
Yeah, so
Oh,
there
God.
it is. That was New Mexico.
Sweet. Yeah, I remember that picture. I remember when you came back with that.
Yeah,
That's freaking
yeah,
awesome.
that was a lot of fun. That was just a lot of fun,
Well-
and just to see that amount of stars, just
Yeah.
blew my mind. It blew my wife's mind away. It was
That's
just
wild.
mind blowing to see that many stars out there. So yeah, it was a good trip. That was the.
What'd you shoot that with?
I shot this with my Canon. It was a 6D and the
Yeah.
I want to say a 24 millimeter. Yeah, with this
Okay.
24 millimeter
Nice.
lens. Yeah. Yep. So it was definitely a learning experience, that was for sure. But it was worth it. That's when I got the move shoot move
Yep.
star tracker, which is it's a pretty cool little tracker, you know. And it came with the green laser light.
Yep.
to try to polar align. I was like, I'm going to blind up so yeah. It was
That's
it
what,
was interesting.
Move Shoot Move is one of our advertisers now, and I think Tim got one of those that he's been playing around with, and he goes, I don't think this laser is legal for England.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, that sucker, you talk about a powerful laser. That thing was insane.
it's yeah, one of the I haven't had the chance to do any of the like longer focal length, I guess you'd call it. It's still wide field technically, but I found a way, I think, to connect my 6200 MC to that Altair Astro lens adapter just by switching out the connection ring, and it gives you the M54 thread. And so if I can connect the 6200 to it, then I'll shoot full frame. And I want to pick up one of those Sigma Art 85 millimeters. And because it's flat across the field, what I've seen shot with like the Canon 5D. And I think I looked at it in Nina, and to equal the amount of sky that my Canon 6D and my Rokinon 14 will capture and frame up, I think I need it's like 30 or 40 frames panels. But yeah, if I can manage to pull that off, I think it's going to be like a 3 gigapixel image.
Oh wow.
And I'll have to build a computer for that. What I have is not going to work.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. That's it. All right. Well, we're almost at 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Don't forget, everybody, on Friday night, you guys have asked and we are delivering. You guys wanted to talk planetary and get into planetary imaging. I have been able to get a very experienced, 25 years experience doing planetary, Dan Llewellyn, who's out of here in Atlanta. He's done quite a few articles in Sky and Telescope. He does deep sky as well as planetary. he's going to be on tonight, on Friday night, and talking planetary and giving us tips and answering your questions. So I hope to see you all here on Friday and hanging out with us and talking to Dan. Not this Dan, the other Dan.
He doesn't talk to me.
The Dan that's got some mad skills, got the mad imaging skills.
Oh, I got skills.
Shots fired.
I got skills. I just don't, I don't show them. I'm a very private person.
No,
He's
that's why you
humble.
just want me. You just want me to process them for you. You got skills, all right.
I got. Oh man, I will acquire the images with the best of them. Not a problem. But
he's got enough data to fill.
you saw my NAS. I mean, you saw how much data I have. I just I got a ton of data, whatever. But
data.
That's not true.
I'll definitely be here Friday to check that out. I'm trying to get back into planetary.
I just asked this guy to measure
absolutely.
the outside diameter of his dew shield for the 71F, the ASCAR. He said 2.75 inch. The outside diameter of a dew shield is 2.75 inches.
That's kind of like what, the 30 millimeter? No.
Of a 71F. 71 millimeter scope.
So 2.71, isn't that like 60? Isn't that like 68 or something?
The dew shield is not 2 inches.
Right.
No,
Dew shield's like
it's not 2 inches. Yeah, it's much longer.
8
It's
inches.
much longer.
So
Yeah.
Oh, the length of it, not the diameter.
Yeah, the length. So Dustin, where can they get more? So to recap, Dustin, where can they find Amateur Astronomy magazine?
So it's going to be
photography magazine, rather.
it's gonna be on Facebook. I mean, I have a public profile on there. Just search my name, Dustin Enfinger. I'm Starlight_Painter on Instagram, and then also amateur. It's Amateur Astrophotography Magazine on X.com. And the website should be up and running by Friday, and that's going to be amateurastrophotography.com.
Nice.
So
nice.
that's it.
Cool.
Or just contact us. You can get me directly at by email at amapmagazine.com gmail.com.
sweet.
Awesome.
Sweet.
All right. Well, that's it. So we're at
final
10 o'clock.
thoughts.
So for me, again, Dustin, thank you for coming on and hanging out with us. It's been a blast. Thank you for sharing your passion and experiences with astrophotography with us. So, and we look forward to having you on again. So the door's always open, man. So whenever you want to come
Absolutely.
on.
Yeah, thanks for having me on here, and maybe we can do something post-NEAF after we've recovered.
Yeah, after the recovery.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're gonna need about 3 days to recover from that one.
Remember that one. But yeah, as far as other final thoughts, no, just again, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Hope you enjoyed this content. Don't forget to give a thumbs up before you leave, or when you see it on a replay. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. It really helps out this channel and the show to let us know that you guys are enjoying this, and leave comments too. So those always help. And don't forget to hang out with us on Friday, with Dan Llewellyn, and learning some planetary and getting some tips and tricks and stuff like that. So
I'm gonna see if I get Sean to sit in for me for a little bit, so I could make it up there. I hope I make it up there by 8. I'm hoping that. So.
Okay,
that's the plan.
Oh, okay. But we'll see what happens.
Customs may have other plans. So.
Gotcha.
Hopefully they use a rubber glove.
Moon River.
Yes. And they're very gentle with you. They'll give you a nice light touch.
Like, wait Wait a minute. Why are they? Why is their banjo music playing?
Yeah, exactly.
What was that? South Park? Cavity search.
Exactly. So, yeah.
Awesome. Dave, final thoughts?
Uh, uh, thanks for hanging out with us, Dennis. I mean, it was cool meeting you. Thanks for all your help you did with me with my camera back in the day, years ago. Look forward to seeing you at NEAF. I'll be up there. It's my first NEAF, so it'll be an adventure
Nice.
for me. But other than that, I'm interested to see how the magazine comes out and all that. But other than that, that's all I got.
Cool.
I won't be here Friday. Obviously, I will be rooting on my boys and hoping Ovechkin gets a hat trick
Yep.
against those pesky Wings.
Sending good energy that way.
There you go. Yeah, I hope he beats Gretzky. I hated him for years. I still hate him. I'll hate him when he's dead. I hate him when he was alive. I definitely hated him when he was with the Rangers. But let me tell you. But what are you gonna do? But anyway, Dustin, what do you got for us? Final thoughts?
I just, really appreciate you guys having me on here. It's, great to talk with you guys. And yeah, I mean, I think everyone's pretty much capped it pretty well.
Yep. Awesome. So again, Dustin, great to have you on. Again, just like Eric said, we'll be happy to have you on whenever you want to come on and chill out with us. Absolutely. It's great having you, man. It's good seeing you. Just not being on the phone for hours. Just actually seeing you in the face to face, sorta. But it's good to have you on, and looking forward to seeing more and more out of Amateur Astrophotography magazine, and hit them up, get the information, get the digital magazine from was it Jupu or Jusu or whatever.
It's Pablu.
Jusu is that vape thing, isn't it?
God, let's just get off.
That's why I said
the air
Jusu.
because good Lord,
I could have said
He's already had
something
too
else.
many. He's already off the
I didn't
rails.
even drink tonight. Jeez.
That's even scarier.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, excuse.
Eric and Dan, Tim sends his love from England.
I'll tell him he's got to come back
Tim,
on for
yeah.
a reunion show, man. I mean, geez.
Absolutely.
I don't want to hear about the 5-hour time difference. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
We have people come on all the time that are in the chat that are over there.
If Stacy could do it, you could do it.
Exactly.
Mr. Cow, we are waiting for you.
Stacy and who was it? Katie Hughes. All these people.
Yes.
If Dylan could do it with a 12-hour time difference, you could do it.
Yeah.
Who else did it? Who's the?
I mean, Simon's come on here and done it from New Zealand. So
what's his name? APP.
Yes, Evo.
Pavel Kagas from Moravian.
Absolutely.
I mean, come on.
Come on. He knows.
No excuses.
There's no excuses. There's no excuses.
I don't want to. I don't want to hear that you're sick. I don't want to hear it. You're coming on. I don't want to hear it. Anyway, no, but that's great again. Great having you. Miss you, Tim, if you're in the chat. Good guy. If you don't know him, he's a really good guy. Go get him on Facebook. But that's all I got.
Yep, that's it.
All right, everybody. Well, have a great night. Again, thank you again, Dustin. Appreciate it. Hopefully, Dave won't be here Friday. Hopefully, I'll jump on in and save Eric from his lonesome non-wingman thing. So I'm gonna try and make it. If not, I'll force Sean to come on and get some place while I finish the last bit of driving.
That would be helpful.
Yes, we'll do something. We'll get somebody. Maybe Dustin will come on.
All good.
Dustin won't be the wingman.
Hey, I'm up for it. I'm down.
Oh, there you go. So
there you go. It's going to have a plan. You said you were interested in getting back into planetary. We're going to have a planetary expert.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
So-
I just got my Barlow finally, so I'm stepping up to 8400 millimeters, and
Yeah.
just need to get a just need to get a planetary camera. Shooting with the 6200 with a 1.25 inch eyepiece is not super practical.
No,
Yeah,
not really.
no.
Yeah, no.
Get a nice 585 or something. Be done with it. You know. But
Yeah, 585 wouldn't be too bad.
you know, you're gonna crop it anyway.
That's nice.
You know.
Yeah, you gotta have to.
Right.
So, all right, everybody.
All right, guys.
Have a great night. We'll see you. Maybe you'll see Eric definitely on Friday with Dan Llewellyn. You'll most likely see me. Hopefully, you know, I could get out, you know, at a decent time. It takes about 8 to 9 hours to get there. So if I leave by when I want to leave, like 9 o'clock, I should have plenty of time to have dinner and get on.
There you go.
So that's
All
the
right.
plan. And then that's it. We'll see everybody on Friday night. All right. So take it easy, everybody. Don't forget to vote. Vote for your
Yep.
picture. Both of them. Stop being lazy.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Scroll down to the bottom.
All the way down.
You know, scroll down to the bottom. I
Mhm.
know it goes back up. I don't know why it does that, but it goes back up to the top. You got to go back down. I never figured out why. But everybody have a great night. Take care. We'll see you Friday night. And remember, as always, to keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Yeah, later.
Peace.
Later.